I'm going to do a quick video on what I'm doing out here in the woods. Redneck style, I guess, because I'm not an experienced lumberjack. Didn't do this right, and I know that, but let me show you what I did do. First thing, I took these two trees down to give room for that monster to come down, and I also wanted to cross that creek so that the logs didn't land right down in the creek. Then I came over here, took this one down, which was also in the way of the path of the big boy. Then I took this one down. And look at the depth of that wedge. I cut in a long ways on the bottom cut. Then I had to take multiple cuts on the wedge to get it deep enough that I thought it would fall safely in the direction that I wanted. Then I did the back cut, which wasn't a lot of stump left there. But it fell where I wanted it. Not quite in the creek. Part of the problem with this is it's hovering. So my plan is to measure this out enough to make an equal cut of 16-inch chunks, so I don't end up with a 4-inch chunk. But I'm going to cut down from the top as far as I can go until it starts to pinch the bar, and then cut up from the bottom. It may work. If not, I'm going to support this end with the front end loader and the grapple hook when I do it, so it doesn't pinch the bar too bad. Then I'll take this big boy out in two or three sections. The top up there is pretty good size too. These are all ash killed by the emerald ash borer beetle, I guess. I got a lot of ash in these woods, and a lot of them are dead. This one here has been dead for probably, I don't know, 7-8 years probably. I've lived here 12. Then my other mistake is I started felling trees this way, and they all kind of should go the same way as you drop them. Starting at the farther distance and then dropping them over top of each other all the way back. But this one got hung up. Where did it get hung up? Up there in that wedge, and I ended up pushing down with the front end loader to get it to snap in the middle, which relieves some of the wedge out of that tree. Then I got on the other end and pulled it back, pulled it that way towards the stump to get it to drop all the way to the ground. Before I did all that, I dropped this tree, thinking it would hit this tree and knock it out of that tree. You know that never works, right? So then I had that tree on top of this tree up there. Dangerous. But I got this one dropped, that one came down. Now cut that one up and drag it out separate. You can see that ash, that ash, that ash, that ash, that ash, that ash. Come on, there's so many dead ash out here. There's a lot of poplar and a lot of maple too that are healthy. I don't remember how many trees I've got down right now. It's gonna rain today and tomorrow, I guess, so I'm gonna wait till the rain goes away to get these up to the house. Figure down here with the bark on them is better than up in the yard chunked up. There's another one that I dropped. Obviously I dropped these two before I dropped that one. I'll have to edit this video probably. These are pretty good size ash. And the wood's not punky. It makes pretty good firewood. We burned a few chunks the last couple of days of stuff I cut last week, and it burns good, burns hot, and it burns clean. And of course it's ash, so it burns completely down to nothing. Here's another one. Not huge, but it's really long. A lot of these are skinny, but they're really tall. And then here's the beauty. There's a good sized steel right there. Pretty long too. I don't know, what's that, 13, 14 inches in diameter? Probably. Again, my goofy failed cuts. I did that wedge cut, not deep enough. And then the back cut, didn't want to make it fall. I don't know why it's all the way through there, but this one ended up dropping down onto the saw blade, pinching it, and I just got out of the way and waited till it fell all the way down. Yeah, I don't know how I ended up with a perfectly clean cut like that, because I didn't cut all the way through as it was falling. I don't know what I did. Like I say, I have no experience with this, but that wedge cut was a little too close to the rest of the tree to get the saw up in there, so I ended up cutting a little bit higher on the back cut. I don't know, but again, here's another great big dead ash. This creek goes all the way across my property. Got a million frogs out here in the ditch. I came out with a quad. I don't know if you can see the X's on that tree. I came out and marked a whole bunch of trees with X's with black paint that can come down because they're definitely dead. I did that while everything was still kind of alive before. See that? This is a pretty good sized tree. I can't even get back far enough. There you go. That's a wide tree. That's gonna make a lot of wood. Gotta come down. There's no point in not. These two here are also really big and tall. Right there's. These are the dangerous ones that I don't like. They're nice and thick at the bottom, but they split and then they split again. So you end up with a bunch of trees off one stump. Drop them one at a time. I know. There's another double X tree that's gonna come down. Like I say, most of these are dead ash. There's another monster that can come down. Surprised it hasn't already, actually, with the high winds and stuff. So we've got a solar farm coming in, and they're gonna butt right up against my two neighbors' property and mine. I don't own that much woods here, depth-wise, but my woods get wider and wider as it goes down that way. Grand total, I always said it was 1.5 acres, but I think it's closer to 3 actually on the map. We're gonna get together, all 3 of us, and do a spot survey before the solar farm starts to do their deal, because we don't want to lose land to them, and money runs the country, so they can do what they want. And you don't catch them beforehand, then it's too late, right? These are my ATV trails, and I don't see any dead trees in here really. There are some further in that are also dead that are gonna come down. And of course, the further into the woods I get, the harder it is to get them out. I can't just drag them right straight out, so they got to be chunked up. And I don't like dragging them anyway because of all the poison ivy. Yeah, we got poison ivy, and I don't know, chunking them up, I always worry about not getting a even cut and wasting a chunk. But look at the size of that poison ivy vine. That is it's old. I think it's been here for a while, but again, a dead tree, dead ash. I don't know. I was gonna show you the main property line. It's gonna be a really long, boring video probably. Haven't been out here in so long, I'm not really sure where I am. Here's another tree. This thing is a monster. It's not much bigger around than the others that I cut, but good Lord, it's tall. Really tall. Way taller than the others. And out here somewhere there's an old logging trail that's the property line. And I wanted to come out and see if they're gonna, or if they already had marked it to where they're gonna start cutting and clearing land. There's another dead ash. I don't think this is ash. Anybody know? Is that popular? Looks dead to me. I'm not sure that it is. There's leaves up there in the branches, but I don't think it's a living tree. This is the top of one of the first ones that I cut down 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. I'll come out and get the rest of that. There's a lot of chunks to be had here that I'm not going to let just lie to waste. No reason for that. And now I'm at the logging trail, I think. Yeah. This is kind of the corner of my property. And this path, this logging trail goes all the way down the length. These trees right in here are the property line. This laneway is actually on my land, and everything this way is mine. And you can see the air gap there, that's a field behind my house. And a lot of other trees out here that can come down. Some of them are hemlock. Like those two there are hemlock. I got a couple of hemlocks that are leaning real bad, but are gonna be a little dangerous when they come down. We're out here with the quads all the time. Not so much this year though. This poison ivy. Yeah, some big stuff. I own a lot more land into there, but we never access any of it. Somewhere there's a marker post, but kind of scrubby land. Not a lot in there of any use. This little pit right here is kind of deep. Run the quads through there, they drop a foot. It's drying up now. We haven't been out here in so long. There's an old hemlock that the woodpeckers are enjoying. It's amazing how deep those woodpeckers go. I don't know if they live inside those holes or not, but one of the hemlocks is halfway through the tree. There's a hemlock leaning up against another tree. Should probably come down. The root ball's coming out of the ground over there. There's another dead tree that's been standing for years. The last storm took the top off of it. I don't know if there's any usable wood in that or not. Probably not. There's a couple big hemlocks. Big poplar. Look at this hemlock over here. See how wobbly that is? thing's huge. That should probably come down too, I don't know. Looks pretty punky. But yeah, that's a big tree too. The hemlock came down on its own. Been down probably 3-4 years. Again, look at all that poison ivy. If you don't know poison ivy, it's got these little hairs that grab right onto the tree and does not come off easy. You can use a hatchet or something to get behind the fingers and pull it all off. Yep. Pretty sad when poison ivy takes up the whole tree. There's another big ash can come down. Been there for a while. Again, this thing's leaning kind of into that tree. So I don't know. Might be able to get it to fall that direction. Notch it and get some wedges in the back cut before I go all the way through with it. I don't know. I'll take any suggestions on what to do. Just a newbie, watch videos, YouTube. Look at that monster. Fell out of the tree and stuck in the ground. Doesn't even want to come out of the ground. Talk about widowmakers. It doesn't have to be a whole tree, does it? That is in there. Went in the ground about a foot. No pun intended. Where'd it come from? That little tree right there? Maybe? That tree there? Probably not. Deer tracks. That trench is pretty deep too. That went all the way up to my knee when I slipped into it. There's another tree top that I gotta haul out of here. There's a tree top over there. These are the trees I started with a couple of weeks ago. Pretty good size. They all had to be split. Better than half the trunk had to be split. And I took this monster down. Had to take that little one down to get it out of the way. And then some of the tops of this tree are still over there. Then I took this one, kind of dropped it that way, and it went that way. Top's still over there a little bit, not much left. This one I had to take down this half first, another split stump. Then I dropped this one that way. I already got that up to the house and cut up and stacked. Then we got these two here that are gonna come down. And over here, I don't even know what kind of tree it is. Maybe you guys will know, but it's a huge tree and it's dead, but I don't know how to get it down. The stump is bigger than my bar, obviously. Got a 20-inch bar on the Husqvarna CS55, 255, I don't know what it is. It's a 20-inch bar and 55cc. Look at that monster. This thing's been dead for years too. These old dead trees just don't seem to fall for whatever reason. But look at this. Massive. I don't even know how big around that is. That's 3 feet wide. Easy. Then it splits to this one. It's, 20 inches wide, easy. Goes up that way. Then it splits to this one. It's probably 18 inches in diameter. Splits off and goes that way. Then it splits again up there with another 18 that goes up that way. Then you got this great big, I don't know, that's got to be over 20 inches too. And it's the main tree. It goes all the way up. And I don't know, I have to take off that one first, then this one, then probably somehow get up there, take down that one. I don't know if I'd cut that, 12 or 15 feet off the ground, stand in the buck of the tractor or something. It wants to go that way. Not a good idea. I'm probably not going to do anything with that. Someday it'll come down on its own and I'll cut it up then. But we got a Widowmaker right there. One of those trees that's been dead for 20 years probably. It just finally fell. But it fell on another dead ash, so that whole thing will come down next couple storms. And that's about the end of my property. Doesn't go too much further in that way. My neighbor's got a property over there. He's got a big pile of trash over there, debris, whatever. And then my property goes up that way to the road, so it's really wide. Now you can see my house is up there. You can see my house in a minute. I haven't mowed the ATV trails in a while. Obviously, it's grown up pretty good. That whole island right there is a row of black locusts that we planted 4 trees, and they just grew like weeds. And then all this is I think that's poplar, right, with the round leaves. Pretty sure that's all poplar. They grow like weeds too, but they don't last. Beetles or something are killing them and they just fall way too easy. I don't think that burns very well, so I'm not gonna do much with them. Let them do their thing. is our main ATV trail across the property. And then house is up there. This mound of dirt right here from the pond is where my targets are for my gun range. And a stack of firewood for a campfire one of these days, big ass bonfire, but I don't know when we're gonna do that. And the shooting range from the front of that mound right there, again, it's dirt from the pond, all the way down there, which I haven't mowed shooting range either, but that hedgerow right there, I believe that's 780 feet across. The property line from that hedgerow to the end of my property line behind this mound is 1840, I think, width. So we're 500 feet, both the target and anywhere we want to shoot from 50 yards to 200 yards, whatever. This whole area is over 500 feet from anyone else at all. And the ricochet safety zone, whatever, is 120 yards, and we got way more than 120 yards from anything if there were a ricochet. And I've got there's a 4 foot tall berm of dirt here, which you can't see because of the weeds, that came out of the pond. And then that is, well, it was, it's all compressed down now. It's probably 10 feet tall now. But it's 15 feet deep too, so it's a real thick dirt mound, and it's 15 feet wide from the edge of the pond over 15 feet. So it's 15 by 10 now, and then a wall of 4 foot. And of course the target, we keep the target down low right there in the corner. The property's pretty well flat, except for there's a little dip right here and a knoll right here, but we don't normally shoot that far away. 200 yards is just before that dip, and we haven't really shot over 100 yards so far with the 17 or the 223. I have with my 1022, but yeah, that's my property. We just walked all the way through all them woods. Alright, long boring video, and I stammer a lot, but I'll get better. I'll get a selfie stick too. And I hate my voice, and I have no teeth, so I talk funny. Thanks for watching. Bye.